What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. Now that the dust has settled after the launch of Season 2 for Modern Warfare 3, I think it's really important for us to kind of gauge where this game is going. What is this franchise doing? Because I know what the roadmap is, right? We're going to get Season 2 reloaded, then we're going to get Season 3, and then Season 3 reloaded, and so on and so forth. Great, cool, awesome. But like just adding more content to this game isn't sufficient enough in improving the overall experience. Sure, more content leads to less staleness for the overall experience. But again, like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I'm a firm believer in quality over quantity. And because what I'm seeing from Call of Duty lately is a lot of quantity, they're not really improving the overall quality of the game. There are quality aspects of MW3, but they're not highlighted enough because there's so much just junk in the game, so much fluff, and that really restricts the best parts of the game. And I've said this before, one of my favorite things about Black Ops 2 was the fact that yes, it had detrimental aspects and elements to the game and to its core design, but the good stuff shines so much brighter than anything that was detrimental to the game, and that led to a more enjoyable experience overall. The problem with MW3 here is that a lot of the negatives for the game outshine the positives, and because of that, it leads to a less enjoyable experience. Which gets me back to my original question, where do we go from here? Just adding more content solves the content problem. Solves the staleness of the MW2 from 2009 maps situation. What it does not do is solve the other issues that have been plaguing this game since day one. Adding more maps and more content doesn't fix your servers. It doesn't change the cheater situation. It certainly does not change matchmaking. So what are we doing to try to improve the overall experience game to game? Play session to play session. Player to player. Like, I'm all for new content. Don't get me wrong. I just want that content to be of high quality and to not have it suffer because of all of these other problems. And that's what we're experiencing right now in Modern Warfare 3. Is yes, there is a wealth of content. Finally, for the first time in so long. But that content doesn't lead us anywhere. It doesn't take us to where we need to go. Instead, it feels as if it's just leading us back to our original issues, the same problems we've been emphasizing for far too long. I mean, these are problems we emphasized during Call of Duty Vanguard, during MW2, and it doesn't seem to resonate at all with the bigwigs over at Activision. And I get it, yeah, they're making money, whatever, but they're losing players. At some point, losing players needs to result in change. Like, it feels as if Activision is just being stubborn out of the sake of stubbornness at this point. They need to realize and take a good hard look at their product and ask themselves, is this good enough? And the answer is no. I mean, the future of Call of Duty hangs in the balance here. Let's be honest. This whole Microsoft situation scares the living crap out of me because I don't know what it's going to lead to. Could it lead to the FTC disbanding this whole deal because Microsoft fired 1,900 people? I don't know. What if the deal stands and all of a sudden Microsoft brings in these contract workers like they did for Halo Infinite and they screw up the game even further? That's awful. I mean, I'm a big Halo guy. I play Halo 3. That is it. That's the only Halo I play because of the mismanagement of 343 ever since its inception. And even then, I played on Master Chief Collection, which was a complete and utter mess for the first 3 years of its life cycle. It was just flat out unacceptable. But I'm not here to rant about Halo. I'm here to talk about Call of Duty and its outlooks for the future. And the more that I look at it, the more that I try to dive deep and figure out some of the positives, some of the negatives, unfortunately, the negatives continue to outweigh the positives like 5-1, and that's a problem. At some point, we need to pivot, and I'm all for pivoting. I'm all for making it now the pivot point, where they finally just swallow their ego and say, you know what? The games have not met the standards of this community. We need to change. Because guess what will happen if they change? Support. Support. They will receive support. Like the amount of comments I see from all of you, and thank you for commenting, thank you for supporting, thank you for being such a great community. I do appreciate it. Is that a lot of you have left the game. And you guys would return if Call of Duty would get better. You would return if skill-based matchmaking was turned down. You would return if consistency was top priority. But that's not the case. And this isn't the same person commenting over and over and over again on 10 different alt accounts. No, this is like probably 200, 300, 400 people that have said this to me on my videos. And I'm not a big YouTuber. Imagine the amount that are saying it on Nero Cinema, on Blame Truth, on 8 Thoughts. People that get far more views than I do. I can only extrapolate it to thousands. And that's the problem, Call of Duty. That's the issue. You're losing thousands of players every single year because you want your egos to be satisfied. That this situation is what is going to save Call of Duty. This situation is what's best for Call of Duty. Well, it isn't. The current trajectory is only going to lead to lower and lower player counts, only going to lead to less and less revenue. Your whales can only support you for so long. And they have to come to the realization that the goal should be to get more players invested in the franchise, invested monetarily in the franchise, not just buying a title every year. Getting to the point where they don't need to release a title every year, where they can just operate this as a live service that's free to play. Because honestly, Call of Duty during its peak was big enough to do this, but it just wasn't industry standard. It wasn't normal to release free to play games. But there's absolutely no way that you can convince me otherwise that if Black Ops 2 or Modern Warfare 2 in 2009 were free to play games, that they would not crush in revenue compared to what is being made today. They would. It's that simple. The player base is there to support it. I mean, this is back when season passes were a thing and map packs were a thing, and they were making money hand over fist there too. There's just no way that you could lead me to believe that with the player counts they had back in those days, that they wouldn't be able to maintain a higher revenue. Like, it's just very hard to believe. That's the way I'm putting it. But shouldn't that be the goal? Shouldn't returning to that be the ultimate goal? Not just seeing that revenue line rise, but seeing the player base rise. Like, you should want to accept more players into your game. But at every turn, it feels as if they are doing more to push the players away from their game than trying to give them reasons to come and play it, come to try it, and stay. I mean, they're doing this free-to-play weekend, which I'm sure works well for them and their metrics, but it leads to more cheaters, it leads to more inconsistent matches. The matchmaking is all screwed up, and it's very tough to play during the free-to-play weekends. But the point of the matter is that you never had to do this. You never had to make a free-to-play weekend because everybody that wanted Call of Duty had Call of Duty by February. But everything's changed so much now. There is a lot more choice for the players out there. But there's also not enough to gravitate people to Call of Duty every year anymore because they just don't have that same level of interest because the level of quality has dropped so much. And it's just as simple as that. You can boast about those revenue numbers all you want. And that's all that Call of Duty really has towards their name now. They don't have the reputation. They don't have the identity. And they certainly don't have the community's trust. They've lost all of that. And that is because they put corporate greed ahead of making a good game. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they want to set aside those egos and that greed to invest in better game design and to invest into better user experiences. It's that simple. I'm really hoping that the future of Call of Duty is brighter than how it seems right now. So hopefully it's a situation that starts to trend upward, unlike their current player counts, which are trending downward. Anyways, guys, that's all the time I have for this video today. I do thank you all so much for interacting with the channel, enjoying what you're seeing. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. Let me know your wacky idea to get more player retention into Call of Duty. Mine is, of course, limited time, double XP game modes, and bringing back Classic Prestige, because those go hand in hand and will make players enjoy the game a little bit more. But that's all of it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.